In this video, we will learn who built the incredible Extreme 105, where did they build it, and what is a spud pole? Well, after visiting the jaw-droppingly impressive Extreme 105 in Mallorca, I really did want to learn more about the shipyard and about the people that built that yacht. And to do that, I had to travel to a pretty little town called Meppel in the heart of the Netherlands. Here, I found the Holterman Shipyard and met the managing director, a charming and highly experienced Dutch gentleman called Herman Timmerman. His face lights up when he talks about Lady Fleur, and he recounted how the project to build a 105-foot yacht literally did get started with 3 friends talking in a local pub and discussing the ideal yacht. That conversation gave birth not just to a sensational yacht, but also to a new brand called Extreme Yachts. But I was interested in seeing where Lady Fleur was built and whether the brand has other products in the range. So follow me and we'll take a look. Before we take a look at the Extreme yachts that's in production, I wanted to show you this though, because this is what Holterman are well known for producing. It's called a Holterman Commander 54 because it's 54 feet long. Now, if you bought something like this almost anywhere else in the world, it would probably be a mass-produced fiberglass yacht, probably built with a planing hull. Not in the Netherlands. In the Netherlands, they favour steel, they favour aluminium, even on relatively small vessels like this. The Commander 54 is built for stability over speed. The hull is full displacement and stabilised, so with a 2,000 litre fuel tank and a cruising speed of about 8.5 knots, you'd be looking at close to 1,500 nautical miles for the range. As well as the Commander 54, the shipyard is also building an Extreme 54. And this is really interesting because you can see both of them side by side. Now, the Holterman Commander 54 is very, very popular with the domestic market. The Netherlands has a lot of inland waterways and low bridges, and this is just perfect to be able to navigate through the countryside and get under those bridges. But just take a look at the difference in size and volume between the Extreme and the Commander. This is really far more likely to be successful with a more international clientele. Again, steel hull and superstructure. This particular model will be staying in the area of the Netherlands. And as you can see, they're already fitting underfloor heating to accommodate the cooler climate here. Below deck, the yacht is arranged so that it has one full beam aft stateroom and one VIP cabin to the forward end with this area here, which will be a bathroom in between. But take a look at this. The tube there is for a spud pole. Now, Herman was telling me that in the Netherlands, some yachts will arrive in a marina and instead of having to tie up the bow lines, This will have a 5-meter long, 3-piece telescopic pole that descends into the silt in the bottom of the harbour, keeping the yacht in position. Actually, there's also one to the aft. So in areas where it's allowed, this system can be used actually instead of an anchor to keep the yacht firmly in position. There are other interesting and fascinating features on this 54-foot yacht though. The owner of this model opted for stabiliser fins. Again, rarely found on a yacht of this size. And Herman was keen to show me the thickness of the stainless steel anchor plate. This, of course, is fitted to protect the hull from the anchor, but often will quickly get dented and get battered up. It's probably thicker still than the anchor plate you may find on a 54-metre yacht. It's not going to dent easily. Under the vessel, I noted these skegs too. Some areas of the sea in northern Holland have huge tidal changes, so if the vessel gets grounded in the silt, the running gear is protected. It's a very useful feature. And while we looked at the underside of the vessel, I was impressed to note that Holterman had not used the Commander 54 hull for the Extreme 54. That would have been the easy option, but they preferred to have a totally new hull design, and in fact a new designer for this new brand. That anchor plate, stabiliser fins, skegs, the steel hull, this really does earn the title of a pocket super yacht. And it's not the only model in the range. Extreme also offer a 62, a 78, a 95, and of course the 105. The 105, by the way, was built in this shed that is currently awaiting the arrival of a new 78. But I dearly wanted to see a finished model, so Jarek, Slava and myself made our way to the Hisvar boat show. I'm at the boat show. I've met up with Robert Holterman, and before I tell you what I've discovered, I need to tell you a very quick story. And it's a story of the early explorers that were charting India. So they sailed down the warm coast of India, charting it as they went. They got to the tip and they thought that was it. They thought they'd just go up the other side. What they didn't know was that one of the most beautiful islands on the planet was at the tip of India. Now today we call that Sri Lanka, it was called Ceylon, but they called it Serendip. And the reason it was called Serendip is where we get the English word serendipity, which is an incredible surprise that fills you with joy and you're absolutely not expecting. This is one of those serendipitous moments, because I was honestly not expecting anything special from the smaller models of the Extreme range. I thought, you can't beat the 105. That is just such an incredible, such an extraordinary and unique super yacht. How can you better that? Just take a look at this. This is the Extreme 78 and I am absolutely blown away. Let me show you why. I'm standing on the swim platform here. Now, bear in mind that that tender that you see here fits onto this swim platform. That's a remarkably large tender for a 78-foot yacht. But the magic really starts here. I know how much everybody enjoys seeing the engine rooms. Just take a look at this engine room. Just look at this for an engine room. Now this is quite different to the 54 Extreme that we saw earlier. This is a planing hull. It does 30 knots. So the material used for the hull is aluminium, which of course is lighter than steel, but still very robust, a perfect material for this sort of a yacht. We have Volvo IPS drives. They're 1,000 horsepower each, but also we have this lithium battery bank here. So in some senses, it's using a similar system to the 105. It's a really advanced way of powering the hotel load and at the same time having really powerful engines too. Honestly, when I saw this yacht and I looked around the inside, I immediately said, I can't do justice to this yacht here in the boat show. It's full of people. The response has been absolutely incredible. We've taken some footage of the interiors. Bear in mind as you're looking at the footage that we show you that the cabinetry is all made in house. In fact, you'll have noticed earlier on when I walked across to that first Commander 54, I was walking through the woodworking shop of the shipyard. So everything that you're going to see on the footage that we've taken is taken from that shipyard. The head height in the main saloon is 2 meters 40. I mean, it seemed to me even more than that, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I'm not particularly tall, but there was a taller Dutch guy than me who couldn't even touch the ceiling. It's like a cathedral in there. The quality is astonishing. I actually feel, to be perfectly honest, that I'm at the birth of what will become one of the most significant brands in the yachting industry in this size range. There is no builder that makes anything remotely like this. The quality is absolutely extraordinary. It's built in Holland, which is well known for the highest level of qualities that you can find. The fact that it's built out of aluminium means that you can really customize it to a very high degree. Everything I've seen on this yacht and on the 54 next to it is done to perfection. Even the paintwork, that metallic brown color, is so difficult to get right, but they've got it right. We're going to show you some footage of this yacht, some footage of the finished 54 as well, but to really do justice to this amazing yacht builder, I've agreed to come back in 2 weeks' time and to film a proper walkthrough video of the 78. Why? Because I think it deserves it. I think the efforts that these 3 Dutch friends have made in bringing to the market an incredible new brand to such a high quality is absolutely extraordinary. And as somebody who works for the largest and the best brokerage in the world, Northrop & Johnson, this is the kind of thing we need to be reporting back to you, the viewer, and bringing your attention to. The big brands throughout the world are great. They produce good quality products in a big production line, and they're absolutely fine for what they do. But every so often you need a new brand like this to challenge them and to bring something to the market that's innovative, that's beautiful, that's fantastically built, and that actually is quite unique. Oh, and by the way, Slava, by now you should know what this is. Do you know what this is?
Yeah, sure.
What is it?
It's the spike that goes into the...
Which is called a...
I don't know.
A spud pole. A spud pole. And actually, Robert was telling me a few people came up to him at the show because every other yacht is tied to the dock with stern lines. This isn't, and it's as steady as a rock. And a few people came up to him and said, where are your lines? Why is the boat not moving? And that's because this yacht also has that spud pole at the bow, another one at the stern, and it's absolutely rock solid. And that is it until the next video when we do a proper walkthrough tour of this yacht.